Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So it's been a while since I made a fish haul video. The last time I got new fish was when I got these Pygmy. One right there, one right there, one right there. That was over 5 months ago in February. And since I got back into the aquarium hobby a little over 2 years ago, that has been the longest stretch I've gone without getting new fish until today. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, I was planning to make some changes to this tank, which was a quarantine tank, and now I'm going to add substrate to it and add some plants. So I set out today to get some plants, and somehow I came home with 35 new fish and a snail and a plant. So I'm going to show you what I got. And so I have all these bags inside this 10-gallon aquarium, which is what I also bought today. Petco is currently having their dollar per gallon sale. However, that's not where I got this tank. I got this at my local fish store and I paid $16 for it. But I did that because they sell tanks with lids. Petco would just be the tank by itself, and you'd have to buy a lid separately. You know, some people don't even use lids on their tanks anyway, so it's not necessary. But if you may know, I have cats, and with that I need to have lids on all my tanks. Plus I keep the kind of fish that can jump out of tanks. But yeah, so this was $16 at my local fish store, including the lid. As I've done in the past, or like this tank for instance, I did buy it at the dollar per gallon sale at Petco. Then I bought this lid like I have on several of my other tanks, and it's maybe $13. So as Rich Johns mentioned recently in a video, if you're going to buy a lid, the lids can actually cost more than $10 for a 10-gallon tank. So, and he mentioned that when he made a DIY video of making your own tanks, making your own lids. But instead of making my own, I just bought it for $16. Anyway, so inside this tank, I have several bags of fish. I went to 3 different places today. The first place was my local fish store, Trop Aquarium, and I went there because as I mentioned in my previous video, I wanted to get some water Wisteria and Ludwigia repens, which they didn't have today. They're not going to get their next plant shipment until next week. So while I was there, that's when I got this tank, and I ended up getting well, I'll show you the fish that I got from them. So, in this bag is 26 Pygmy Corydoras. So I finally was able to get a bunch of them. The last time, before this, on 3 separate occasions, I bought 4 Pygmy Corydoras, all from that same local fish store. Each of those times, 4 was all they had left. So this time, they finally had more, and I was pretty psyched about that because I've always wanted to get a lot of them. So I got 26 Pygmy Corydoras, and I will put them in here for now. And then I also got bag. That's the bottom. Flip it over. Alright. I got 2 more lime green endlers. These are more green than the ones I've had previously because I got some lime green endlers from them. This batch is more green. So this is the same type of fish that I have in my 3.5 gallon that I put a male in with 2 female virgins, and they've had some offspring that I showed recently. But so 2 more of these. I still have 1 more in this tank. I had 2 others and they've disappeared. I guess they died and got eaten. But yeah, so now I got some more of those. And then I went to Petco, and that's where I ended up getting a water wisteria. So got that in this bag, and there's also a black mystery snail in here. It's like, right here. So I've never had a mystery snail before, so I just figured I'd get one just for the hell of it. Alright. And then also from that Petco, I got a Roseline Shark. So this is about 2 inches. The one I have in my 30 gallon right now by itself, well, I mean by itself in terms of with no other Roseline Sharks. I mean, there's a bunch of other fish in there, but that one I got about this size, and 2 years later it has probably doubled in size. But I do eventually intend to get a bigger tank and move them to it and get a group of them. So while I was there, I somehow just decided to get one of these to join the one that I have. This one will be smaller, so I think it'll be kind of cool looking to have like a big one next to a little one for now. And then down the road, when I do get a bigger tank for them, I'll have these two. Those 2 will be big, and then I'll get a bunch of smaller ones to join them. That's the plan anyway. Alright, what else do we have? From PetSmart, I ended up getting a couple Pygmy Corydoras. So I have 1 left in my 30 gallon right now, and I wasn't planning on putting any more in that tank because I noticed the previous ones that I had worn barbells, but somehow the lone one that I have in there seems to have, his barbells have recovered. Because I always thought it was like the eco-complete substrate that caused that, but if that one is okay now, I figure, I will give it another shot. So when I was at PetSmart, they had 2 left in the tank, so I got the last 2. That's what these are. And at PetSmart, otocinclus were $1.99, so they had some that appeared to have some fat bellies, so I just figured, what the hell, I'll get a couple more. That's that. And then the last bag here, I got a couple goldfish. So these are comic goldfish. I guess they sell them as feeders. Well, yeah, they do sell them as feeders. These were 16 cents. They actually can grow up to a foot, but maybe I'm not a good fish keeper, but I just got these for the hell of it to put in that outdoor tub that I have 3 outside that I showed pretty recently. And I guess goldfish eat duckweed, so I've been dumping duckweed out of my tank into one of those tubs, and I'm going to put these guys in there. I don't know if if these can grow to a foot. It's not big enough for them, but otherwise they're going to be bought and fed to other fish, so I just figured, what the hell. So I'm going to put these out there. All right. So aside from the goldfish, I'm gonna leave all these fish in here. And even though this used to be a quarantine tank, it's not going to be anymore. So I'm actually gonna just quarantine them in this tank down here, and use ICX, erythromycin, and general cure. So the fish that are already in there are gonna get another treatment anyway. But yeah, so, and then from there I will move them around to different tanks. All right. Well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.